Then guys, so Villa's Premier League season kicks off tomorrow at the Dickinson Stadium as we take on Everton. At least that's what I'm telling myself anyway, because Villa's season really needs to get up and running, and no better place than up in Merseyside tomorrow. International break, come at a good time for us. We needed that break, we needed that clean slate, fresh start, transfer windows closed, time for the new signings to bed in. So hopefully we can get our season kick-started with a win tomorrow at, I was going to say the Goodison Park, but at the Dickinson Stadium. So we're going to cover the international break so far. We'll have a look at Everton, how they've started the season, and of course, a couple of heroes / villains in Jack Grealish and Emi Martinez, who I'm sure will be eager to take the headlines tomorrow. So first of all, let's take a look at the international break. It went well for Villa, didn't it, in terms of the players? Yuri Tillemans bagging himself a couple of goals. Matty Cash has turned into this lethal finisher all of a sudden, bagging himself 2 goals for Poland, which is great to see. He did go off with a knock at half-time in the second game, but I think his dad has actually come out and said that he is available. So we'll see confirmation of that in Unai's presser later today, but I'm sure he'll be in the starting lineup tomorrow. Ezri Konsa got himself his first goal for England as well, which was brilliant to see. Great to see him get off the mark for his country. Let's hope they can bring that form back to their Premier League teams, because we haven't even got a goal to our name yet, and it needs to come tomorrow. And I'm feeling pretty positive about this one. I don't know whether it's more my heart speaking over my head, but I just think Villa, now that transfer window is closed, there's clarity in the players' minds. Tomorrow's the day we get our season up and running. It's not going to be easy though, guys. Everton have started the season very well, haven't they, with 2 wins from 3. Started off pretty poorly with a defeat to Leeds, didn't they? And then they went on to beat Brighton in their first home game in the Premier League at the Dickinson. So they've had a good start to life there, and they beat Wolves as well, which was quite a good performance. I did watch that game. It was quite closely run in the end, but the man I mentioned at the start of this video, Jack Grealish, looked very, very good in that game, and he'll be very eager to bag himself another couple of assists tomorrow. But let's hope not. Another one we've got to talk about is Emi Martinez. He's been away on international duty too. Again, this is another reason why I think it came at a good time. It's give all the fans, maybe his teammates, just time to cool down a little bit. Even himself, just let it cool off a little bit. I'm not feeling as angry as I was at the time. He's got to come back in, hasn't he? He's got to, you know, he's got to get his head right, which I'm sure he will, and he's got to come back into that starting lineup. Will he tomorrow? For me, I think he will do. I don't think Marco Bizot will start against Everton. You know, if you've got a goalkeeper like Emi Martinez in your team, he has to be starting, doesn't he? He's the highest earner in the club as well. So you can't just waste that kind of talent. If his head's in the right space, which I'm sure Unai will be able to know or read, that's why he didn't play him against Crystal Palace in the last game. He'll be able to see that. Personally, I think he will come back into the starting lineup. It'll be interesting to see how the Villa fans take to him. Will he be booed? I don't think so. I think the travelling faithful will always get behind their team to the bitter end. I'll be there tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to visiting the new stadium as well. I certainly won't be booing him. I won't be singing his name, that's for sure, but I won't be booing him. Like I say, we've just got to get behind him if he's in goal tomorrow, and we need a good performance. He really doesn't want a mistake tomorrow. That certainly won't help his cause, will it? Similar story with Jack Grealish. Will he get booed by the Villa fans? Probably by sections. Can't say I've ever booed him myself, but I understand why people do. I don't really take much issue with it. I think it's all panto a lot of the time. People like Michael Owen read far too much into it. He's obviously desperate for some attention, isn't he, with his recent interview with Rio Ferdinand, saying that he was, what did he say? It's almost like he couldn't sleep and it really upset him, or he was in tears about it. Absolutely pathetic from Michael Owen there, but obviously just desperate for some clicks, desperate for some attention again. But yeah, I don't actually think he will receive as much as he got when he was at Man City. I don't know why. I just get the feeling that it might have mellowed out a little bit now. Personally, for me, I'm not as bothered. He's playing for Everton now. It's a long time ago, that move. I think a lot of people don't quite understand why he gets booed by Villa fans. They forget that horrific dive against us after Jacob Ramsey didn't even touch him. Again, that game where he held up his 3 fingers, during that game, was trying to get Matty Cash booked, gesturing to the referee. He nailed McGinn at one point as well, and having words with Martinez at half time. You know, he just set himself up for it, really. And Villa got the better of him that day, and it worked. I'm sure he'll be eager to put on a good show tomorrow. And he started the season exceptionally well, hasn't he, with 4 assists, absolutely flying. And to be fair to him, he's proved me wrong already. He's just slotted straight back in, and he's looked like the Jack Grealish that was at Aston Villa. David Moyes will be a manager that will give him freedom, go and do what you want, have the keys to that front line like Dean Smith did at his time at Villa. So he's definitely a man to watch out for tomorrow, as well as Iliman Ndiaye. He's absolutely flying this season as well. He's a very, very tidy player. So it's going to be a very tough game for Villa, but I do back us to go and get something tomorrow. Will it be a win? Will it be a point? I think in isolation a point would be a good result, but Villa do need 3 points fast if we want to already have to make up ground on those sides in that top 5-6 positions. The new signings for us are obviously going to offer us something fresh. The one we've spoken about mostly, the one we're most excited about is, of course, Harvey Elliott from Liverpool. Will he come straight in tomorrow? Again, against Everton, I'm sure he'll be eager to make an impression fresh after leaving Liverpool. I'm sure he'll receive some stick as well. Will he come in from the start? I've got a feeling he might. I know Unai doesn't like to put players in too quickly. I mean, we always refer to Daniel Marlon. I just think he doesn't fancy Daniel Marlon for one reason or another. But Harvey Elliott, I've got a feeling, because Villa need that click. They need something fresh. I could see Harvey Elliott coming in from the start, and he'll play in that 10 role, I would assume, which would mean Rodgers plays on either the left or the right. He had a fantastic game for England too, didn't he? Picked himself up an assist. He looked back to his best in that second half. So again, we've just got to hope he brings that form back to his club. And I'm sure with Harvey Elliott, a mate of his as well, he'll be eager to strike up a good partnership with him. And I'm feeling pretty optimistic about it, to be honest. And I do back us to get something tomorrow and finally get off the mark and get a goal. Jadon Sancho as well. Will he come straight in? For me, I don't see Jadon Sancho coming straight in. I see him having an impact in some way. I think he could come off the bench. We are lacking a little bit in that left-hand side, aren't we? So I do think there's a chance we do see Jadon Sancho at some point tomorrow. We signed Evan Gasson. We seem to have stopped talking about him now. He played from the start against Crystal Palace, didn't he? Didn't cover himself in glory. He did have a very poor game, as did Daniel Marlon, unfortunately. So I don't see Gesson getting the shirt again tomorrow. That isn't to write him off at all. He's coming from another country, new to the league. This is all stuff that Sancho and Elliott are used to. They've also had 2 weeks now to bed in with Unai. They've got plenty of training sessions in, getting to know the teammates that weren't away on international duty. So I think that was a really good time for them to come in, whereas players like Gesson, Marlon have been away with their nations as well. And like I say, had poor performances against Crystal Palace. But who didn't? Everyone was poor in that game. Like I said at the start, we need to start our Premier League season tomorrow. So we need to look past that. Now the window's closed, there is clarity there. Everton, looking at our recent record there, it's fantastic. I mean, we haven't lost to them since returning to the Premier League. I think that's 12 games. They haven't beat us for on our return. Goodison Park was almost like our second home, wasn't it? We've won plenty of games there, won there last season with that Watkins goal, 1-0 victory. Something like that would be absolutely spectacular tomorrow, but Goodison Park is no more. It's now the Hill Dickinson. They'll be eager to make home comforts even stronger, as they have done already, kicking off the campaign with a couple of wins at home, with one in the league and one in the cup. But that game against Brighton, I can't say I watched all of that game, but from what I've heard, bits I've seen, highlights, it did look like Brighton had plenty of opportunities and probably could have, maybe should have got something from that game. So Villa will definitely go there with optimism that we can go and get some goals tomorrow. And I'm feeling pretty positive that we can do. In terms of team news, guys, Boubacar Kamara will be available, hopefully. I'm not certain on that. Again, we'll have to wait and see what Unai's presser comes out with today, but it'd be very, very handy to have him back in the starting lineup, wouldn't it? He missed out against Crystal Palace last time through injury. Other than that, will we see many changes from that Palace game? As I've just touched on, yes, I believe so. Similar back four, I think we'll see. Will it be Luca Dean returning to his old club, or will it be a Maatsen? I could see Luca Dean coming back in. Kamara and Tielemans. Is Onana going to be available? I'm not quite sure. It seems like, I mean, he's just struggled with injury after injury since coming to Villa, hasn't he? So I probably can't see him starting tomorrow. I'd be more likely to see that Tielemans and Kamara double pivot, which I do think suits us better. We won't see Gesson and Marlon, I don't believe. I think we will see Elliott come in, as I mentioned beforehand, with Rodgers. And of course, Watkins is going to be the man to lead the line, isn't he? He'll be looking to open his Premier League account, not just his, and Aston Villa's as well. So in terms of prediction, I'm going to back us tomorrow. Honestly, I don't know whether it's heart talking more than head, but I can see us getting a win tomorrow. I don't think many people will give us a chance. I think everyone will be looking at Everton thinking, wow, they've had a brilliant start to the season. They've started very well, couple of wins. Jack Grealish flying, Iliman and Joyce flying as well. Villa, they can't score a goal. They're going to struggle this season. They've lost all their players, this, that and the other. I could see us going and nicking something tomorrow. I think it'd be a marginal one, a 1-0 or a 2-1, but I can see with that fresh impetus from Harvey Elliott, maybe Jadon Sancho as well, I can see us getting a victory tomorrow. So that's what I'm going to go with. Let me know your predictions in the comments, guys. Let me know your thoughts ahead of Villa's trip to the Hill Dickinson tomorrow. If you're going as well, let me know. I'll be there in the away end tomorrow, so can't wait for it and can't wait to see Villa finally score a goal again. So fingers crossed for 3 points, guys. And as always, up the Villa.